Yeah, so pay attention. Nations around the world are trying to turn out to be fintech hubs. They're seeing what is occurring in places like the UAE and Switzerland and all this new business that is being generated and created, and all of these humans that are starting to transport to these locations because they may be fintech hubs. And of root, Georgia wants to do the identical. My question to you is, how many different international locations are going to comply with healthy, proper? They're going to want to work with the high quality and magnificent generation, which Ripple absolutely has. And it says that is from High Vibes. It says XRP holders concentrate up. Move border charges set to attain $30 trillion in a single day. Overnight. Allow me to play this for you. I is doing coming to CBDCs. Why I'm announcing it's Miles very important, because there are several. You realize there are now numerous new animals or birds, something you call them. They're floating around underneath various names. Somebody calls it stable cash. Any individual calls it cryptocurrencies. Our point of view is that allow us to be very careful in interpreting and know what results they have. On stable cash, the simple essential query that arises is because the essential question that begs a solution is whether or not governments and imperative banks are snug with non-public currency. Currency is a sovereign feature which the sovereign delegates to the important financial institution in international locations like India. So therefore, are we snug with private currency? So therefore, this new generation merchandise which are coming and styling themselves as splendid innovation, their financial results, their bad results for home financial balance, for international financial stability, or home financial device for the global economic order, all that desires to be understood. And we have published, you recognize RBI, we've got myself spoken approximately it. So I'm now not going to listing out what are the capacity threats. They pose a threat. You already know all kinds of threats. You understand terror financing, cash laundering, aside from you recognize currencies like emerging market currencies. A good way to kind of cause the important financial institution itself will lose, manipulate over the economic machine. There are masses of demanding situations, and this will end up, these are noticeably unstable. Now, we don't want that sort of a thing. In truth, I on such matters, whether or not it's Miles stablecoin or it's FAR cryptocurrencies or whatever you name it, I think we want to fully apprehend what are the dangers earlier than type of looking to legitimize them. We need to recognize before entering the water what number of sharks are there inside the water. I think this is how I might position it in a very not unusual language and really bluntly. Now, so therefore, CBDC is important. The internationals moving towards ERA and CBDCs have a first-rate position because CBDC can virtually facilitate. This guy is glaringly, it says, courtesy of the IMF. He is the Reserve Bank Governor of India, and he's saying how essential important banks are proper. 30 trillion in a single day. I do not know if it really is going to be in correct wide variety, however concentrate there will be a coordinated attempt to transport to a CBD system on like the same day. Like there can be numerous international locations that have already got piloted, examine the generation after which are prepared to move once the time is right. Okay, the point right here is that XRP and RLUSD have been out right here working for over a decade with these international locations, right? And on relevant bank virtual generation, right? CBDCs, they're coming. I recognize that there is lots of things that we need to talk about with regards to CBDCs, like privacy and how it's going to paintings and all of that stuff. I do think we have to have a distinctive conversation about in an exceptional video, however they may be coming. And additionally, the infrastructure for crypto is on its way. Guys, allow me just show you this. Ripple is a part of the ISO 2000022 payments seg member list. The sincerely special aspect about this is the maximum members are international locations except Ripple proper. If you check who was a part of this and who nonetheless is a part of this, right? You have Ripple, you've got the Bank of England, a path, you have the DTCC. You also have the eBay clearing, the ECB, that's the European Principal Financial Institution, Euroclear. That is a device in Europe to clear and settle safety settlements in addition to cost. Glef, do not know that one. I do express regret. Is.Thankx MasterCard of Direction, Nexo Standards. You have STET, which is some other fee gadget, Swift, Verify, VASP, and a path. You have got Visa at the same listing. That's quite pretty juicy. And it talks approximately a unified ledger method aligns with the wider desires of the multitude of blockchain and DLT projects, consisting of, however, no longer limited to Quant, Casper, Zinfin, Stellar, Hedera, Hashrap, Algorand, and IOTA. These also are all projects which might be going to be interoperable with all of this. And we know that Ripple is truly a big part of all of this. Ripple working with dozens of governments to build CBDCs with MasterCard proper. Ripple and MasterCard were running together for pretty a while. While the relaxation of the market is centered on memes, XRP is being applied as a liquidity device for critical banks. Guys, that is legitimate. And that is the motive why I talk to you about this a lot. It is so vital to apprehend, right? Listen, we aren't in an application marketplace where those values are going to be proven and seen. All we are going to be doing over the subsequent 6 to 12 months is speculating on what we think Ripple or XRP goes to be worth. Then the entirety goes to move backpedal, and we are going to pass again right into a endure market. It might not move back down to wherein we had been back in like 2022 and 2023, but we are going to cross-return into an endure marketplace. And then I suppose next marketplace, you are going to have international law, and this is where something might actually pop off. That's what I think. Of course, I do not know, and so you already know, we will have to see. But this is valuable financial institution, digital currencies. Governments all around the globe are designing their personal CBDCs. More than 130 initiatives exist today global. Several of these projects function move border wholesale CBDCs, which have the capacity to convert global cash movement for the industry for all enterprise and actors. And of course, you've got Ripple's and talks with dozens of governments for CBDCs, many of them for cross-border payments. You additionally have the digital dollar project, Western Union BDO Unibank. And then the Digital Dollar Project and Western Union have partnered to pilot an exploration on how a CBDC ought to enhance past border remittances inside the US and Philippines corridor. Who's already concerned inside the US and Philippines hall? It's Ripple proper, and of direction you've got the digital rupee statistics down right here, allows Preserve It going here. Also, you've got James Wallace right here being interviewed talking approximately significant financial institution digital currency. Let me display you. It's going to be incorporated, allow me to say so, on the existing blockchain. Otherwise, you men are considering some amazing system with regard to virtual R. Yeah, it is a high-quality query. So essentially, the era that we are growing for the virtual R is a non-public blockchain. However, it's based totally on the generation used within the public blockchain. So the public blockchain that we use is called the XRP ledger. It's a publicly to be had open supply blockchain technology. And what we do for each United States of America we're running with, we create a new personal model. So you may most effectively use the blockchain in case you want permission to achieve this. So we're given the reason, the gain of this is the XRP ledger generation is proven. It has been processing billions of transactions, but you realize valuable banks like to have things a touch bit extra personal. So we've created a non-public version. So it's a little bit of a hybrid to reply your question. But definitely it is in reality independent platform, which is particularly done for each mission where you examine.
Yes, yeah.
So what happens here is if when Ripple goes and talks to a central authority is each government is going to be extraordinary in what they need, their wishes and their desires.
Right.
So Ripple has all this practice technology constructed out. They have basically like a list of what you need. So like this United States may say, hey, we need a digital euro. We also need a wholesale again, give up. So we will send payments to our neighbor nations for change. We also want a retail front cease wherein we can have for clients and for agencies, right? They can without a doubt personalize this all, and it occurs on a non-public blockchain at the XRP ledger. And sure, the value that builds up, the value that receives minted and created on the one's private blockchains does have an effect on the rate of XRP on the general public chain. I do suppose you'll see a big scales proper. My private thought within the way I see all of this proper is that we've like $50 trillion deliver or take of real cash money, anything in the world, internationally, okay? As the years pass on, there's going to be much less of that paper cash in circulation, and there is going to be more virtual money. This is created, right? Imagine Bank of America, Chase Bank, Citibank, all those banks digitizing all of that money that they've interior of their financial institution. What they could do then now is pass